Hi, how are you today? As you come in, say hi and let me know where you're from. And if you need to, allow StreamYard to show me your name. Because sometimes on Facebook and YouTube, they don't let me see your names in the comments if you don't give them permission. Come in, say hi. Today we're going to talk about who are you? This is very important. This is core. You have to know who your true self is before you can do anything else. So I want you to be thinking about who are you? And in case you don't know who I am, Kelly Lee Sappenfield. I'm a fifth generation metaphysician, soul evolution coach, speaker, and author. And let me guess, you know what you do. You can tell me all the things that you do in your day to day life, in your weekly, in your monthly existence. You can tell me what you do. But can you really tell me who you are? Grant, and think about this. If we do not know and totally accept who we truly are and develop it, everything else is never, mm, it's just, it's like operating at 60%. Why do you want to operate at 60%? Now, I get it. We get to a certain age and we become empty nesters, or we've gone through a divorce, or we're in a career that we've been in for 20, 30 years and we're burnt out about it, right? You you hit a certain area of your life and you become disconnected and disempowered, really, because you're searching for who you truly are. Because let's face it, we're not the same people we were when we were in our 20s, are we? We don't want the same things we wanted in our 20s when we get older. And so this part of our life is about a rediscovery. Who am I? And I get this. I denied who I really was for years. It's me literally dying on the table and crossing over, really own who I was. Now, I don't suggest you go through that. I don't suggest you copy that scenario, find out who you really are. But you need to stop and think, who am I? Who do I want to be? And what do I want the rest of my life to look like? Because if you're my age, early 50s, you've got 20, 30, 40 years left. You're halfway through. So if you're halfway through, there's nothing saying that you're too old to do anything. You're never too old to start something new, to reinvent yourself, rediscover yourself, and reclaim yourself. There's examples of people in their 60s and 70s that became famous because they started something new in their sixth or seventh decade, knowing they were 20, knowing they were 30. They weren't a teenage YouTube star. And chances are, there's teenage YouTube stars today, when they hit our age, they're going to be saying, hey, maybe I don't want to be a YouTube star anymore. So you have to be willing to evolve, grow, to learn, to stretch your limits. And sometimes it means getting uncomfortable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable when we hit a certain point in our life and we're taking care of maybe aging parents, or our kids are grown if we had kids. And things have changed, but we haven't necessarily changed with them. And 2020 has been a crazy year anyway. But one of the things 2020 has made us realize, or most of us, is what was really important. What's really important to us? Is it running errands? No. I mean, they may have to still be done. That's something you do. Clocking in at work in a job that is just routine. It doesn't light you up at all anymore. That's what you do. Just look at any two men. When they meet each other for the first time, what do? Hi, I'm so and so. What do you do? Oh, really? That's interesting. And the other man will say, well, I'm so and so. What do you do? Not who are you? Think of the different conversation those two people could have if they asked each other, who are you? Instead of what do you do? You notice the difference in how that conversation would go? If I was to meet you the very first time, person, grocery store, we're both running errands. And I asked you hi, I'm Kelly Lee. Your name and who are you? Would you be able to answer? Would you be able to say, this is who I am? This is what I love about life. This is what is my passion. Would you be able to do that? Or would you give me the laundry list of everything you do? Maybe you would say something like, I'm an engineer. Oh, really? How exciting is that? What do you get to work on? Oh, not much. Life is, even if we're here 80 or 90 years or even more, life is too short. Live life with the energy of, yeah, this is what I do. This is my day-to-day life. Instead, this is who I am. This is me. This is my true self. And owning it and saying, you know what? My happiness is worth more than someone else's opinion. If I decide to change things up a little bit, just because I'm in my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or whatever. I mean, we used to say, oh, they're having a midlife crisis. A midlife crisis would be a nervous breakdown. Reclaiming your true self and living it is not a crisis. Yeah, it may mean that you let some people in your life go. And it may mean that you're already in the process of letting some people go. Maybe it's a divorce, maybe it's other ways. And it doesn't mean just because you're changing yourself up, you're going to be that character of guy dressing like it was 1975 again and going out and buying the sports car and wearing the gold chains and thinking he's 20 again. Or the lady in the gold lame pants and platinum blonde bouffant hairdo, right? That's not what you're doing. What you're doing is saying, I matter. If I'm on this planet, I matter. And I'm not going to live life that I don't really like. Yes, I'm still going to have errands. I'm still going to have laundry. I'm still going to have grocery shopping. I'm still going to have all those on our to-do list. And some of them you may have assistants or maids, or you may do a personal chef thing or something. Or some of those to-dos you don't necessarily have to take care of on a day-to-day basis. But they're still on your to-do list. Because if you have a maid, you have to pay the maid. Right? That's a to-do. So think about it. If I was to come up to you and we just happened to both be on the same aisle in the grocery store, and something brought us to say hi to each other, would you be able to answer if I said, "Hi, I'm Kelly Lee. What's your name and who are you?" Not, "Hi, I'm Kelly Lee. What's your name and what do you do?" Because what we do, well, we go to the doctors for tests, right? We pay our bills. We clean our house. We do all these things, yes. But that doesn't make it who we are. And sometimes it's a struggle. Sometimes you're so disconnected from who you truly are because you've given everything to everybody else, your boss, your kids, your spouse, your parents, or whoever. How many people here have given to where at the end of the day, there's no time for you? And you kind of trained people closest around you to take advantage of that. It's like, oh yeah, they'll do it. Oh yeah, I don't even have to ask, they'll do it, right? And you give and you give and you give and you give. But you've heard the saying, I know you have. You can't pour from an empty vessel. And eventually, that's when anxiety and depression and all that starts coming in when we get around this age group, because we've given and given and given, and we've got our to-do lists, but we're never on the to-do list. Being our true selves, doing what we love, taking care of ourselves is never on the to-do list. Let me ask you, how many of you have meditation on your to-do list? How many of you have sitting out by the pool and reading a book for 30 minutes about a topic that you're interested in on your to-do list? See, most of us don't put those items for ourselves on our to-do list. And it's like, oh, if it gets done, it gets done. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it should be flipped. Those things for you should be first on your to-do list every day. When you set out your schedule for the week, what are you doing for you? What are you doing to reclaim you 100%? Not operating at 60% anymore, but reaching to operate at 100% of you. Because you know what? You didn't come into this life just to be a giver and to take care of everyone and to clean up after everyone else and to do. You came into this life to be you. You're unique. And you are created to be the unique you that you are. You just probably have lost it. Lost that connection to who that true person is. And that's what you need to do. You need to reconnect. Because when we connect to that true us, Makes all the difference in the world. And you know what? When we're happier, we're able to give more. We're able to do more. We want to. And our happiness becomes contagious, and the people around us become happier. I mean, how many times, if you're married, have you looked at your spouse and think, good golly, they're such a curmudgeon today? Could it be a mirror of your energy going to them? They're picking up on your energy and they know something's not quite right. And maybe they don't know how to handle their energy. It's something to think about. Tell me in the comments, do you do your to-dos or are you doing me? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you rediscovering yourself? Are you reconnecting to yourself? Are you re-empowering yourself? Because that disconnection and that disempowerment feeling, and the feeling of every night just being exhausted because you've given at work and at home and everything else, and you have nothing left to give and you're just exhausted, and then you wake up the next morning exhausted, and it's just a cycle that never ends. Who wants to live that way? But the sad part about it is the majority of people do. It's like we get these silly barriers put in our head. Oh my gosh, you're too old to do that. What were you thinking? I'm sorry. We don't do that type of thing. We, as your family or your community, that may give an opinion. And so we are taught to fit in. Now, I quit fitting in a long time ago. In fact, now people fit in around me. I can go to my husband's pre-pandemic. I could go to my husband's corporate dinners and talk metaphysics. They all knew who I was, and I didn't shelter myself at all. And I don't anymore. I own it. I own my metaphysical self. I own my intuitive self. I own my spiritual self. I'm not hiding from it. I'm not running from it. I'm not saying, oh, that's just a pipe dream. I could never do that. I don't go there. Because I know if spirit gives me an idea, if spirit asks me to do something or lays a pathway for me to do something and is showing me the signs, it's for me to do. Spirit's not going to tell me, and I'm sure you've heard me say this before, Spirit's not going to tell me to go and work with major companies and militaries on airplane engines. And if their engines are running properly and if they're in all the correct margins and all that. No, they're not going to give me that at all. They're not going to give me an idea that sparks about aircraft engines or helicopter engines at all. Because it's not my wheelhouse. It's not for me to do. I didn't come into this life to do that and that be my passion. But they will give that information to my husband. Because that's what my husband does. And that's what he likes to do. And that's what gets him excited. And sometimes, yes, it gets him aggravated, but that's part of life too. right? So what did you come into this world to do? Who did you come into this world to be? Because unless you're doing and being that, then there's always going to be a disconnect, because you're disconnecting from your interior self. You're disconnecting from your higher self, and you're disconnecting from what you set yourself out here to do when you came into this life. So I really want you to think about this. Do you know who you truly are? Do you own who you truly are? And can you answer that question? Hi, my name is so-and-so. I am. Not, oh yeah, I'm Kelly Lee and I work for, and name a company. There's a difference between saying what you do or saying what you work at, or yeah, I'm so-and-so's mom, or I'm so-and-so's spouse, or I'm so-and-so's child, or I'm a member of this group over here, or this country club over here, or this religious community here. Those aren't who you truly are. That's things you do. Okay, you're a member of a country club. You really think your main contract to come into this life was to be a member of a country club? Okay, you eat a certain way. Well, do you eat that certain way because you've learned to listen to your body and you honor that? Or do you eat a certain way because you think it's correct or the in thing? I mean, how many people went gluten-free because it became the thing? I mean, there's people that had to go gluten-free. And then there's people that is like, oh, yes, I'm going gluten-free. Okay, why are you going gluten-free? Well, everyone's doing it. Okay, do you feel better? Have you noticed a difference in your body? Did you have an issue with gluten? You see the difference? So really think about it. And as you go through this week, I hope this kind of stays in the back of your mind and you notice, how often are you putting yourself on your own to-do list? Are you saying, what interests me? What is it that I really want to do? Who do I want to be for the next 30, 40 years? Right? Because when we're growing up, we hit high school and everyone's, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then we're supposed to go to school and become that. And then it's like, okay, we're done with you. You're over and done. That's all you can do, and that's all you can be for the remainder of your life. You know how silly that sounds? Because like I said earlier, I know who I was when I was 21 is nowhere near who I am at 51. Granted, at 21, I had a 2-year-old running around the house. And that is normal. I know I got married really young. I had my son really young. It's kind of like what my mother's generation was, except for my mother had me at 32 and I had my son at 19. We kind of flipped. But Everything happens in stages in our life for a reason. My son is now 32 and doesn't have kids yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's the fact that we all have stages and we all came into this world to be certain people, have contracts with other people. But you know how we progress on that pathway, the smoothest possible, is being our true selves. Absolutely. Owning it, living it, being our true selves. Because when you start stepping off that highway, it's like you're off-roading. And there's going to be bumps and turns and twists. And oh my gosh, there's a tree in the middle of the road. In life. I don't know about you. I'd rather stay on the smooth pavement and own who I truly am and not be embarrassed by it, be ashamed by it, and not care if someone has an opinion of who I should be. Because you know what? There's people that truly love you, and there's people that are supposed to be in your life are going to be excited for you. Now, they may be jealous too at first because they're not living their true selves. But those who really love you are going to be your biggest cheerleaders. Those that maybe talk behind your back or try to tell you what you're doing is wrong in some way or not acceptable in some way. Honey, unless you are breaking laws literally, like you're going out and robbing the store, breaking a law, then what you are doing in reinventing and recreating and owning your true self is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And like I said, some people may leave. Some people may naturally not be in your life to the degree that they are today. But guess what? New people come in. And you meet new people and you make new friends. Nothing says we're too old to make new friends. You are not, if you are breathing, you are not too old. You're here to be you, to learn, to grow, to evolve, and be the best you and live to your absolute highest potential. So if you're breathing, you are not too old. You're here for a reason. I hope this helps. If you'd like to take this a little bit further, go to my website. It's running across the banner below. And grab your complimentary 30-minute soul session with me, and we can delve into this. And I can help you one-on-one, help reconnect, rediscover, and recreate who you really are so that you can live your highest potential and be happy and enjoy life and have fun and not go to bed exhausted and wake up exhausted and do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Because you know what they say? Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results never works, does it? Never works. I hope this helped. I hope you have a fabulous evening. And like I said, go to my website and grab that complimentary 30-minute soul session, and I'll help you. We'll start discovering who you really are. Exactly, Athena. I was waiting for someone to chime in. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. And hello, by the way. So where is it that you need to work on reinventing yourself? Where is it in your life? And it can be any aspect of your life. And if you're wondering what I mean by aspects of your life, that's your spiritual self, your physical self, your health, your body, your relationships, your finances, and your money, your emotional self, any aspect. It's time to reclaim. It's time to be ourselves to our absolute highest potential. This year has taught us, if nothing else, that it's those things, it's those innate things that matter most. Like the love from your family. You can't buy that, right? Well, your own love, your self-love, you being tuned into who you truly are, there is no amount of money in the galaxy that you could pay for what you would receive. It is that priceless. So thank you for being with me today. Remember, it's not what you do, it's who you are. Keep expecting miracles, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.